10 o'clock news. When you think of a warehouse, you think of a big building full of something worth money. Warehousing is a takeoff on that. Apartments in a big building worth a lot of money, but kept empty deliberately by the landlord. That way, when the building goes co-op, he can make a bundle selling them at outside prices. That affects you if you're looking to buy, and it affects you if you're looking to rent. Apartments that are warehoused aren't available to rent. That cuts down rentals and raises rental prices. It's the old law of supply and demand. We have two reports for you from Pablo Guzman and Steve Dunlop. You won't hear from the landlords in Steve's story because they didn't return our calls. But as Steve reports, they may have to talk to Manhattan's Borough President.
Listen, I can show you that apartment today, anytime you like.
New York City is facing its worst rental apartment shortage in decades. Real estate offices like this one on Fifth Avenue have a tough time finding apartments with a vacancy rate of only 1.9% in Manhattan.
4 months of that. Every week getting the paper and looking, calling, and the competition is too fierce.
Tomorrow morning at 10:30, Manhattan Borough President Andrew Stein opens hearings on what he calls the widespread warehousing of apartments in Manhattan.
They're sitting there vacant, beautiful, beautiful apartments all over the city, years at a time, just sitting there vacant for no other reason but it suits the landlord's interest. And I think that is very, very wrong.
Stein will charge that nearly 6,000 rental units citywide are being withheld from the rental market, usually pending their conversion to co-ops or condominiums.
Because it is extremely, extremely profitable.
Is there warehousing of apartments in Manhattan?
Yes, there is.
Apartments deliberately kept back from the market?
Well, it's an economic thing. A piece of property in Manhattan that's vacant is worth more than 100% rented.
The law permits landlords to withhold no more than 10% of their apartments from the market at one time. But it's a law which some tenants say is routinely ignored. There are 120 units in this building?
Yes, there is.
And how many of them are being warehoused?
It must be anywhere from about 25 to 30, I'd say. Somewhere in that range.
Being held off the market?
That's right. Some that have been empty for at least 2.5, 3 years.
What's the motive, you think?
What do you think it is? You see the sign on top of the canopy, right? Okay.
But other forms of warehousing are more subtle. This is an apartment building on East 65th Street. 8 of the 12 apartments here are vacant but not empty. The renovation has already begun. And the tenants who remain say their landlord is harassing them, trying to get them to move. As we spoke to Lynn Pitts, the thermometer in her apartment read 56 degrees.
There's nothing here that is, in my mind, for our benefit. We had a perfectly beautiful building before he started all this. And there were a lot of people that wanted to rent the apartments, but he was not going to rent them out.
Tenants point out that every vacant apartment can be counted as a yes vote when a landlord seeks to convert to a co-op. Landlords respond that they comply with the law, but that programs like rent control make it impossible for them to get a decent return on their buildings. But the bottom line is that some of the most desirable real estate on Manhattan Island is now going unused. And that is sending a record low vacancy rate even lower. In Manhattan, Steve Dunlop, Channel 5 News.